Hi, I'm Mark Tilley from Dirtbike Magazine, and this video is going to be a little bit different. We get a lot of questions with who this man standing right next to me is, on what he does, how long he's worked for us, all that kind of stuff. Jay is technically not a employee of Dirtbike Magazine.
Not even close.
Yeah, no, in no way, shape, or form. But Jay, we do work a lot with Jay. Jay's our Dunlop rep. We're out here at the Dunlop brand new tire intro. So when we need tires for Dunlop, we go to Jay. Jay mounts them for us. He shows up at our house just out of the blue, mounts tires, it's ready to go. But Jay also is one of the originators of a project bike. Before Jay and before project bikes in general, we would test the factory bikes. Well, Jay kind of made a niche for himself of building project bikes. So Jay, like, we've known each other for way too long now.
Well over 20 years, yeah.
I remember the first time I met you, you were telling me at Loretta Lynn's that we couldn't display Vertex pistons at the time.
Sorry.
And you're like, no, I'm Wiseco, you can't do that, and all that kind of stuff. So, but you've evolved. You've kind of started your own thing, doing all your own stuff. You not only work with us, you work with our sister publication, Motocross Action, and some other media outlets. So you do brand new bikes for us as well, but the bike that we have in front of us is pretty much a staple of a bike that you're going to build for us. So tell us about what you do.
Well, so this bike, for instance, this was a really roached out 3-year-old, and it had been raced hard, ridden hard, put away, dirty and all that. It had 170 something hours, or crazy for a little bike. And so we just did a frame. Since we're taking the engine and suspension off, then it's easy, might as well just powder coat the frame while we're there. So we had San Diego powder coating, paint the frame for us. And I work with some great brands, with Wiseco Pro X and everybody else. My buddy Brad helped build the engine. We got all those Pro X parts and Wiseco parts in there. And that's what I'll typically do, is we get those older bikes. I prefer doing brand new 23 bikes because that's a whole lot easier, man. We drop it off, the motor at Jamie at Twisted, he does some magic. We get the suspension done, throw some cool graphics on it and fresh plastic. The thing's awesome, right? And it's new tires. So we do quite a few builds a year. I do average anywhere from 18 to 22 bikes a year, something like that. And we have some of the brand new dirt bike, and then you spoke of Motocross Action. What's really cool, we have the cover right now, and in the back of the magazine, they do this cool thing where 20 years ago, right? And the back, that magazine that's in the back of the magazine right now, in the June issue, is a cover from 2003 of one of my bikes. So I'm on the cover now, and it was 2003. So 20 years ago to the month, I have the cover in both those issues. So it was kind of cool to see that. So it's always fun, and it's like I've had quite a few bikes in the cover of Dirtbike and Motocross Action. It's pretty fun building those bikes. But the main thing I do is help support the media outlets, like you said, with the tires, with the other brands I work for. And then try to promote those media outlets with our social media and our YouTube channels, and give a little bit more behind the scenes look at some of what goes into the builds and stuff.
And so he'll take all the companies you see on a shirt, most of the companies you see on the bike. He'll work with those companies to get those companies exposure and kind of move on from there. He's worked for a lot of really good companies over the years, none of which are a high torque publication, none of which are Dirtbike Magazine. He's an asset for us on that side of it. That we use Jay a lot. When it comes to all these guys building bikes now, it kind of all started with Jay. It started with the companies that he had building really cool motorcycles. So when you are thinking about building a bike and you are thinking about that, this is the man who started it magazine-wise, because other than that, we were testing Pro Circuit KX125s and CR125s and all of those companies. He just brought a lot of these companies out to the forefront, and now he does this for them. So I know that you've been with FMF
well over 20 years. We're almost 20 years with Dunlop and Wiseco. I'm back home with Wiseco, which is really cool. So a lot of these brands have well over 20-year relationships with most of them, and it's really cool being around the industry so long and be able to do it. And part of that confusion comes up because I did name our YouTube channel when I wasn't thinking much about it. I named it Dirtbike TV, and so it's just me, Jay Clark, Dirtbike TV, and it's
So when you look at it, don't send me questions about the tire stands, because I know nothing about the tire stands. He's the one that changes all my tires, so don't ask me for the plans for it or where to get them or anything like that. And it's kind of one of those things to where it's a nice thing, because we have people like Jay. We do joke around that Dirtbike TV is not Dirtbike Magazine, but it's a fun thing, and we're all friends in the industry. We all work together, and Jay has probably had more bikes than anybody in Dirtbike magazine, on the cover of Dirtbike magazine, than any other bike builder that we've ever worked with.
So with the builds, we build off-road bikes, motocross bikes, we kind of build everything, and we built a few hundred, who knows how many total, and we try to, you know, make it interesting, make them look cool, and then we know that not everyone's going to be able to do everything we do to a project build. The idea is to give them an idea of little things they can do here and there. And also, we get a lot of inquiries. Guys want us to build their bikes. We don't build anyone else's bikes. We don't have a shop like a, you know, Jesse James choppers.
Yeah, you have enough staff for a shop, but you don't actually have a shop, because you're not the only one doing it. You do have helpers every once in a while, and kind of go from there.
No,
but
so it's
all the videos on Instagram and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, that's all stuff that you've learned over the years as well.
Yeah, and I've been able to learn a lot of what I do just by going around with the race teams over the years, at the track, learning from other people, and that's how I've, you know, learned it all, and just been doing it by trial by fire. I get some guys email me tech questions, and they'll say something they did, and I go, you know, I did the same thing, you know, 20 years ago and broke that. So they're all embarrassed or whatever. Hey, stuff happens. You know, that's the way it goes, you know.
Well, there you have it. That's the story behind Jay Clark and the Dirtbike TV, not Dirtbike magazine brand, but we love having Jay around. He's a great asset for us to use, and we look forward to doing many, many more bike builds with him.